All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Run! Go! This is the podcast!
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a podcast?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and podcast. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hey everyone, welcome to Get to the Podcast. That's Get to the Podcast with the number 2. My name is Thiago D'Souza.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
And it's Halloween. No, it's not.
Wait a minute.
No, it's not.
So you finally watched Halloween 2018.
I
we
did.
We keep promising we're going to come back to this subject so that we
Yes.
can all talk
Yeah.
about it. So we're doing this random. We're going to probably call
Well,
it our favorite, or maybe we'll call it our favorite horror movie from 2018, or we'll call it Thiago finally watched Halloween.
How about we
or-
call
Watch
it
the best movie of
How about we call it
2018?
this? Check this out, guys. Follow me on this one. Our favorite Halloween movies because we're too far from Halloween to not watch a scary movie.
I'm sorry, was that the fucking title?
That was the title.
What just happened? I was literally
Unlock
waiting
title.
on pins
Wait,
and
wait.
needles for the title to actually come.
Oh, so that works.
Or we can
Or
shorten it
that's-
to.
Stop.
We can shorten it to.
Stop it. Just stop it.
Horror films.
Stop humoring him.
horror films. Yeah, that also works.
No,
Hey, next time, try not whispering into the mic, too, because I'm going to have to crank that shit up. I'm going to get the room tone. It's just like...
Wait. So we already know that me and Nick love this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love this reboot. Diego,
Yeah, we're like...
I'm really curious, actually, now that you've seen it.
yeah, okay.
What
Give us your
thoughts
take
are.
on Halloween 2018. Michael Myers returned. We had Jamie Lee Curtis return. Laurie Strode.
So, all right. Yeah. So here's my thing. I did not like it.
Balls.
I did not like it. The film.
I did
actually,
not.
Oh yeah, no.
Double
It's
negative.
impossible to not like.
Yeah.
Wait,
So,
is that right?
but
Okay. There's too many
I
negatives.
think, and this is personal, it was weird to me seeing him so human.
Oh, okay.
No.
No,
I
I'm
mean-
not saying it didn't work. I'm just saying for me personally,
It was great
and
after
it's-
18 fucking thousand movies.
I feel like they walked a fine line. Like
They made him very
he
human in the-
still
in the-
seemed like
Halloween
it was
2, the original
abnormal.
Halloween 2. Well, first off, the reboots totally made him human. They like showed his childhood and everything like that. But in
Yeah,
Halloween
that's
2,
fine.
the original Halloween 2, you see him a flashback of him in the hospital and everything like that. Like you as a kid. I
mean-
really liked this. Grounded
The
it.
reason why I feel you liked it because it was very, very strong with the '80s feel. Very strong.
That is not.
It-
No,
and
I
it
don't
was
get.
really. It done. They really
It-
make you, and it was great.
It did actually.
I'm saying as
it
a
was like
really
the way
good
it was
thing.
directed and the horror elements
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it were very much.
I'm
like
sure that's part of
like
it.
a wonderful throwback.
Yeah, but no, my favorite. I'm gonna say my favorite part, but what I loved about that movie is exactly what you're saying. You didn't particularly like, which was seeing Michael Myers as this grizzled old man, balding with
loved it.
one missing eye, like this huge hulking piece of meat, like that is obviously deteriorating to some degree, still being driven by this basic need to just kill. Like it's so good. Like just seeing that profile shot of him, that whole thing,
See,
and
that's
getting
where
the
I didn't
original
connect.
actor Nick Castle, like that I just thought that
And
was
the mask is like all deteriorated
And cracking, the paint
when he,
is
like,
peeling.
pulls it down, and you can see his like
Oh,
face
man.
like under the rubber or whatever,
Yeah.
like stretching. There's just like moments in it that I think were really well thought out.
Yeah,
and, like,
100%.
You know, like
Yeah,
they were like,
the-
oh, let's do it this way. Just like these little nuanced things that you could think were throwaways, but they were like on purpose.
It's the first really grounded film that felt like more of a reality. It's the first one since the original in '78, 40 years earlier.
Well, so what about it like didn't, because I don't know, when I watched it, like everything, like every beat of that movie, I was like sold. I you know, I was like into it. I was like there
Loved
weren't
it.
any moments where I felt like out of the movie, where I felt like
So-
I was not invested.
Me not connecting to the film is not saying the movie was not a great film.
Obviously,
I think the finger coming up to Nick. No, I think the film was done very, very well.
Yeah.
And I am smart enough to separate myself and understand that, okay, just because I didn't like it doesn't mean it wasn't good.
Yeah.
the beats, you're correct. Like the moments on it was incredible. I didn't connect with what Nick connected with. I didn't connect with his human aspect. With like seeing him old, I get it. It's many years later, and how they show them, how they didn't show him. From that part of the cinematography, I disconnected.
Right.
And
There's some wonderful shots in this
there's
film,
some
too.
incredible
Like
shots.
These long takes.
There's-
and
Oh
stuff,
yeah,
like,
even that
really-
that whole shot, like in the actual institution, like these, even the production design and the look of like
Yeah.
that whole
The
checker,
squares
the
and
check,
all
yeah,
that,
the squares,
yeah.
and,
That
and
was
everybody's
really-
chained in these different
Yeah.
places, but they're far enough away from each other.
Yeah.
But I disconnected with the fact that they were trying to make the film like this is real. This is a real.
This could
human
happen in
being.
real life.
This could happen in
But
real
the
life.
first
film-
But
the
then-
original-
But then the
first film was
first
that.
but then one of the first scenes they have this like psychological connection with all the inmates when they're in the
Yeah.
open. He shows the mask and everybody start going crazy. That's not realistic.
Okay,
I don't
They're
know, man.
To me, that
crazy.
wasn't.
How many
that
mental
wasn't-
institutions
energy.
have you been to?
Everybody started going crazy
the
on a
energy.
mask.
That could be a real thing.
No, because
Possibly. I'm not saying no, but I'm
you're
saying
right. It did
that
add an
that
element of
felt
like
a
fantasticalness
more,
to it. A little bit,
more
like a tinge of like.
spell
I don't get that from
connection.
that. I think it's a really it's a good scene, but I don't think it's fantastic.
was a little bit
particularly.
supernatural.
There's-
It was
First
very-
off, you
yeah,
have these
exactly.
two civilians,
Keywords.
quote unquote, in the middle of this courtyard, and they probably don't see people like this all the time. Just coming into the middle of this thing, these outsiders.
But they didn't react
They're already
to them.
no. So they're already starting to notice them, right?
They do,
and then
yeah.
they do. There's the little things. They start to notice them, and then all of a sudden they
There were
start pulling
shots
out
of them, yeah.
something, and it's a goddamn mask. And these people are fucking loony bin. And they're
It's
seeing these
William
people-
Shatner. They all had flashbacks of Star
Yeah,
Trek,
they're like-
so they were
No. But they made the shot. They made the shots. So I don't.
They made a movie, is what they did.
When
a movie.
when they walk out into the area,
Yeah.
they cut to the inmates to show there are many crazy people out there. I could be wrong, but I don't remember them connecting to the people walking out there. I just remember shots being cut to showing other inmates out there that had psychological issues. When they walk up to the only paranormal like fucking situation
It's left up
that
to
happened
interpretation. It's in,
was because if you remember the dialogue, they emphasized the fact you remembered like he had this like connection with the mask.
Yeah.
But then everybody goes crazy.
But they do make
so
that
it's-
point
it's
over and
very
over that he's
mythical.
like pure evil. You know what I mean? Like they're.
So are we
There
going
ha-
supernatural?
But even in the real world, people
Pure
believe
evil,
in
are we going
ghosts and people believe in supernatural
But this
things.
is what I'm
so
saying.
it's not
I think
like
at that
that's
part,
unreal.
Yeah, it's
that wouldn't
not like
happen.
it's unreal, but
Yeah.
but then it's like they were teeter-tottering on that line.
Of him
But
being
with
like a
me,
supernatural.
I went to the
yeah.
other side where I felt like, okay, you're trying to make a human. You're trying to make him human, but now this is going towards a line where.
But
it's
the original one
supernatural.
did that too. I mean, he survived a gunshot falling out of the balcony.
He got stabbed in the eyeball.
Guy stabbed in the eyeball, and he lived through all that. In the end of the movie, he lives and he disappears off the front lawn. So they've always done that. It's not nothing new. But
they
by the
didn't-
way, I love the callback to that when Laurie Strode does that, where he looks off the thing and she's not dead and she's gone. I love it. Did you see that when she gets
Thrown off the
balcony
window
thing
or
out the
something?
window, and then he looks down?
At the end of the movie. in
Oh,
her
yeah,
house or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
She's not. They did that in the original
yeah.
film where they did
Exactly,
that with him.
yeah.
You
They
know-
did it at
you
the
know
end
what
of
I-
the
they
original
flipped
film,
it.
yeah.
They
This is
flipped
taking
it.
me back actually because with the thing that blew me away at the end of that movie is like literally there's like 15 minutes of nothing happening of like them walking through the house
Yeah.
and like trying to find out where he is, and it like creates so much tension, and like
Suspense, yeah.
films don't do that. Like that's a throwback to like that style of horror. Then like a lot of films
Let it
today
burn.
are like
Let it
boom, boom,
simmer.
boom, boom.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah.
hit you with one after the other, and you just become numb.
Let it
And I
simmer.
was like, I remember we were in the theater, and I was like, my legs.
Doing
I was
the
doing this thing where
restless
my,
leg syndrome
yeah, like
is-
people could hear my feet like chattering because it was creating all this tension,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is crazy. Like I like something needs to fucking happen. Like she would like whip this door open, nothing there, whip that door open. She went through the whole fucking house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then finally, motherfucker
whole
shows
house.
up like all like
Yeah,
you know,
I didn't-
10.
I
was like,
didn't-
this is so good.
I didn't feel the tension in the film compared to how I felt with Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah.
The original.
I mean, they're different.
The original
tones.
or
the one
or
with
remake?
the first remake which had
Jessica Biel.
Was it Jessica
That's
Biel?
like all I remember. Jessica Biel. Yeah, she was in Texas
Yeah,
Chainsaw Massacre.
I didn't
remake.
see that, but I'm not thinking this is like some high standard of horror film. Is it?
It is very It's
It's
I don't
well
remember.
done.
I don't remember hearing anything great
It's
about
a
it.
You should
lot
watch
different
it.
from the Tobe Hooper original. Like
This is
the
what I think
original
of.
is like gritty and grotesque,
budget.
and this one,
It
yeah,
literally-
but that like
yeah.
serves it, like in a way, like in the
That's what I'm saying. I like that. Like even the original Halloween was low budget.
Yeah.
And that forces creation. You have to create outside.
But like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is like way more disturbing. I thought.
It's
Oh,
than
very
definitely,
Halloween.
definitely. The original Halloween's not even that as disturbing anymore if you watch it today. Like it's not as bad.
Yeah,
like,
it's a very slow burn. I
yeah.
feel.
I can watch Chainsaw Massacre today and feel like the disturbance in it. It's really
the remake.
the one with
original-
Jessica Biel. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
okay.
it was. I forgot what year it was.
They're,
but-
yeah, they're, it's
Says it's
different.
six
I wouldn't compare the two. Like I know I
Well,
I
we're
feel
talking-
more
we're talking
anxiety
about
and more
tension.
tension.
We're talking about tension.
But I feel more you're watching that too. Like, but it's still like being able to like. Maybe it's because with Halloween, like I love the character and you know Michael Myers and him coming back and Laurie Strode and Mr. Loomis or what's his name Dr. Loomis.
Yeah, but it wasn't him. It was
Well, no, I mean the character in like the later,
original
not the
one,
reboot
Loomis.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Loomis.
being able to go back to that universe, to go back to the Halloween universe with
Yeah.
Michael Myers, and then to be able to like feel all that tension again, I thought was the fact that they could create that. You know what I'm saying? I've watched all of the Halloween films, like H2O, Halloween, Halloween 2. I've only seen the third one once. I should probably.
Season of the Witch without
It's-
Michael Myers.
It's a different, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But like Halloween 4 and 5, you know, like
6.
Yeah, 6. All of them. I've watched all of them over, multiple times.
So I think part of it also is that like one of the things right now that I'm working on. This is why I'm like studying Scorsese and I'm studying long shots. Is because I'm working on a project that tests time.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I'm learning about Scorsese and stuff like that is that he never left a blank moment when he tested those times.
He's good.
He's really incredible at it. Like he puts these distractions to keep you in the shot and things. Like we just watched that scene from Goodfellas, where you see people interact, you see people walking in front of the camera, you see him dealing with people as because he's keeping you in the shot and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is like in no way I make sure everybody understands that I'm not in any way saying Halloween was not an incredible film. I just didn't connect with it. There's a difference. The timing for me, especially one of the big popular shots that was out in the trailers when the kid runs into him,
during the
and then he
trick-or-treating.
walks through the open car garage, and then he goes to the garage in the back, and he grabs the knife, and then he goes into the house, and you're
It's
following
like the
him
mom
in
and the
this
baby,
long-
right?
It's a husband, a mom, and a baby, right?
Yeah. And he walks into the house,
Kills
and
the
then
husband,
Does he?
the mother,
He
and
doesn't-
father.
I felt like
No, that's what's
Yeah.
crazy.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me explain my thought on this. And then he walks into the house, and then she goes. You see the static shot of the kitchen. She walks that way in the kitchen where you don't see her anymore. He walks into the kitchen, and then he walks that way. And to me, that shot, I felt like I stayed in that shot for so fucking long without a payoff because I
Okay.
didn't get to see anything.
I mean,
That's how I. So these are the things that I'm thinking about. I was like, I want to. If you're gonna keep me, and there was no, and that shot was like really nothing happening for that 2.5. I think it was 2.5 to 3 minutes. Nothing happened except for that beginning and then that end. And there was that was big empty to me. And this is
no
like I said,
payoff.
it's teetering the line. And when you teeter the line, you're gonna take. Some people are gonna take it one way. Some people are gonna take it another way.
I think the character itself is fascinating enough to hold frame. Like you can hold on him and you could just watch him. It's sort of like watching a, not exactly the same, but like Heath Ledger as a Joker or like other characters where when they're on screen, you kind of can't take your eyes off them. That's what it's like for Michael Myers, especially in this
for
one.
you,
Exactly.
but not for me. But
It's,
that wasn't
it's
for me.
subjective, yeah.
exactly.
But like that scene where he kills the I think the mom and the dad or whatever, and then he sees the baby in the crib, and all you're thinking as he's approaching the fucking crib is, oh my God, he's going to fucking kill the baby.
But he's pure evil.
He's
and
pure
he
evil.
didn't.
Right. It was such an interesting, but that's that unpredictability that I fucking love. Like, you would have been like, of course he's going to kill the baby.
But then that contradicts him being pure evil.
No, it means
that contradicts that shot.
It shows you the nuance of human beings is that you can never put a definitive absolute on fucking anything. You can never do that, and that's how crazy human beings are.
I understand your perspective.
He's pure evil, so therefore
Yeah.
he has to kill the baby. I'm like, yeah, that's what you would think. But for some fucking reason, inside of that person, he did not kill that baby. Why? What was the decision there? Like, what was their decision?
Great, I agree with you.
Start to ask
100%
questions
agree.
about the character.
Then give me a payoff on that one.
You don't have to answer all questions for everybody.
You don't. But like I said, it's teetering that line. It's very subjective. It teeters that line. But for me, I felt like, and I guess this is a great way. I feel like Halloween, this film, did not give me a lot of payoffs. When we're talking about the scene at the facility when they introduced the mask,
the institution,
and everybody, and you guys were talking about this guy, Neal. You said he's pure evil, and then you have this other scene later on in the film where he's technically not pure evil. To me, in the film,
that's the point.
You're contradicting that level of evil.
No, but I don't think it's a contradiction.
No,
I
this
think
is what
they're
I'm saying.
playing.
If I go, that guy's an asshole, and then all of a sudden he does
Just-
something nice. That's the nuance of fucking humans. There's
Hell
no
yeah, we can
absolute
talk about
definitive.
Michael Jackson. But I'm just saying, I
But
watched
like-
it's.
I think that was the directors playing with your expectations as a viewer because you expected certain things to happen because they told you something was going to happen, and then they did something different than you expected to create this sense of like you're in a new realm. This is a new Halloween film. This is not
And you
the old
can't predict.
Halloween films.
And you can't
And
predict.
you guys are not going to be able to predict where this is going to go. And that was done on purpose to create this like maybe unconscious idea in the viewer's minds that, you know, I'm not going to be able to predict what they're going to do in this film. And to be honest with you, when I watched it, I had a hard time kind of jumping to conclusions as to like, and for me, a lot of times watching certain films, like I can almost like predict where the plot is going based on things that have occurred. And it's just like a thing that happens. It becomes an automaticity. I'm not even
And it's
aware
unfortunate.
of it.
Yeah, and
Yeah, but with
I keep
this,
saying-
I didn't have that experience. I was like surprised. Like when he steps on that cop's head or whatever, and it just turns into
mush.
I was
Well,
like,
see,
Jesus
that was-
Christ!
and I think it was
Like,
because
that
I
level
felt
of
like
violence,
I
and
didn't
then-
have enough payoffs, and when then he goes to being back to pure. See, that's what I feel. To me, and like I
Well,
said,
he
I
didn't-
keep
he
repeating
didn't-
this because
he
I
didn't
feel like
touch the granddaughter or whatever. Like he didn't touch. She was in the car. You know what I'm saying? Like he let her go.
did he? I don't remember that.
No,
scene.
he
I don't
didn't.
remember
Yeah,
that
no,
part.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think he.
remember?
I remember her being
no,
in the car.
he
I
stepped
don't
out the car. He stepped out the car.
I thought he was unconscious
ran.
or whatever, and then the one guy was there because he was. What was he gonna do?
he started attacking him.
He definitely would have
And then he
killed
went
her
after-
if
Yeah,
he
he
got
went
her.
after him.
Michael started killing the guy who was driving.
Yeah.
And she was in the car right next. Wasn't
Yeah.
she sitting
Yeah,
right next to
yeah,
him
I think
because
so.
he was unconscious?
Yeah.
And then she wakes up. And then she flees. But I feel like Michael could have chose to kill her first, and he didn't. He like let her go.
I'd have to rewatch that.
But he
And
could have been
followed her.
in that pure evil moment. He could have been stuck on like just focused on destroying, dismantling this guy.
Yeah.
So his focus was, it's like having horse blinders. You're not paying attention. You're just focused on just destroying this
Are
guy.
these,
it's
are
like
these
there's-
people who blind horses, or are there things on their eyes that keep the horses blind?
Well, I'm really this little dick.
Sorry, keep
But
going.
I feel like they did this thing where like everyone assumes like you know the reason I think people like the Halloween films is because of Michael Myers like black and white thing. He's
Good
like
or
he
evil.
doesn't speak. He doesn't. There's no character development other than him being a shape. You know, that's
yeah.
why they called him the Shape or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he's just walking through, and then this embodiment of evil. He's the embodiment of evil. Dr. Loomis in all the films, like, oh, he embodies evils. He's pure evil. He's pure evil. Blah blah blah. But in this film, they messed with your expectations, which is what disappointed you. It sounds like, but I thought that was great
I think it grounded it more.
because
That's
it
the
made
point.
me like not be able to predict based on the 9 other films or however many sequels there were that I'd seen that had beat in this idea that he was pure evil or whatever.
No, I get it, and I'm not trying to demean the film at all.
He's just
because
a
I
crazy
think-
guy. That's
Yeah,
really
just-
all he
that's
is. He's
it.
just
Like I
a
said,
crazy
I think-
guy.
and
who-
you can't put your finger on him.
Yeah.
I guess my
Yeah.
expectation.
He does have superhuman strength.
I
though,
guess
I'll
to
say
me,
that.
if you're
He's a
gonna be
big fucking
pure
guy, though,
evil,
too.
you're gonna be pure evil. You're not gonna.
like
if
being on
you're
PCP.
gonna have some sense of good. I I don't know. I just like to. I keep.
I
Going,
don't even
the
know
only
if
thing
it's
I
a
can
sense-
compare it to is Chainsaw Massacre because he was fucking pure evil. And then you're giving me that level of pure evil.
even
Like he never.
Leatherface wasn't pure evil. He was
fucking
made that
pure.
way.
He-
Like they
but
made
he
it
was
clear that
pure
his
evil.
parents like turned him into a monster.
He made him pure evil. But his whole personality.
No.
But
was
Michael
pure
Myers has always
evil.
been that way.
His and then you have so I'm comparing a person that really showed pure evil to someone that then interacts with a baby and then so to me that's not okay. Well, you kind of lacked in being pure evil. It's fine. I understand.
You
I
want
understand
an
it
absolute,
because,
which is
no.
boring
No,
cinema.
it's not about absolute.
It's boring
fine.
cinema.
No, it's fine because then I wanted to see personally. Give me a payoff why you connected to that baby. Why
But he
did you not?
He killed the parents. That was the.
But
parents.
why
He
didn't
orphaned
not,
the child.
If you're,
why
I
didn't he kill
I
the
wasn't
child?
rooting for Michael Myers to kill people, but
What
you know,
made
when it
him
was
not
gonna
kill
happen.
the child? What made him? What is it? Because it's like trauma in when he was a child. This whole thing when
You
what
don't
made
need
him
a
not?
Maybe it's they
spoon feed.
weren't a
no,
threat.
they absolutely should
But
not
because-
have pursued that any further.
That's fine.
That would have
But
been bad.
because I felt that I wasn't getting payoffs when you gave me that, I felt this was just another thing
Okay.
that I didn't feel like it was.
So what I would say is that you want to be spoon-fed as an audience member.
No,
but,
no.
hold on, but
It's not
okay, I'm
spoon-fed.
saying that's what I was going to say, but then you were saying it's because of all the other things you felt weren't paid off that this one just stood out. And if everything else had been paid off, maybe you wouldn't have cared about this point as much, is what
Correct.
you're saying. Okay, I got that. So what I'm going to say is I didn't see much that wasn't paid off in this movie. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
thought they did a lot of unpredictability type stuff. I think everything was brought to a pretty decent conclusion. I saw like a lot of things that were set up, like everybody goes crazy institution, and then this basically results in him breaking out. Like that was done. You know what I mean? Laurie Strode, is crazy in her paranoia, but it pays off because this ends up. He ends up breaking
I like
out,
the
coming
three
after them again.
generations, like her daughter and
Yeah.
their daughter's daughter.
I love
Yeah.
that scene at the
I love-
end.
yeah, where she's like crying. She's like, no,
and you're like,
don't
damsel
kill
in
me. And
distress.
she's like, gotcha.
You're like, it's like a horror trope. She's like, oh, please don't. She's like all crying and distraught. And
was
then
like,
she's
oh,
like,
this bitch
and
just
she's like,
restricted.
and then she all of a sudden just switches in an instant. She goes, gotcha. Or I think she says, gotcha. And
says
she has the
something like
shotgun
that,
or
yeah.
whatever. And boom. Like,
Yeah.
it's so great.
Like that to me, those were payoffs.
I
Like,
was
No,
like,
yeah,
I
and
was-
then-
with
okay,
a little kid.
okay,
I was
let me
like
flip.
female empowerment, girl power. Like, I felt it. I was like, yes.
Let me
Yeah.
flip
She's
into good things.
Ellen Ripley.
Let me
Like I
fill
always
into-
go back because that to me is like one
Yeah.
of the first
Yeah.
like, serious kind of. Even though people don't take aliens serious, like that's. Everybody's losing it over Captain Marvel, and I'm like, what about Ellen Ripley? Like,
Yeah.
this
Sarah
chick got
Connor.
nominated for an Oscar
Or
for
Sarah
that
Connor.
movie.
Yeah.
Or Sarah Connor. Yeah.
Well, let me flip it and,
Well,
and
Sarah
talk
Connor
about
and
talk about
Terminator 2.
the good things that I felt like
Well,
about this
Terminator
Terminator
at the
1,
end.
she's being saved by Michael Bain.
No,
so,
at the
you
end
know.
he dies and she has to go handle it herself. That's what's great about that movie.
Yeah.
They flipped it on
True,
you.
yeah,
He-
you're right. It lasts like 2 minutes.
Well, let me talk about the good things
your
that I felt. Like I really felt like that connection with the daughter,
Yeah.
skipping the mom, that was great.
Yeah.
That was incredible how the mom was disconnected, but the daughter had this like secret connection with her grandmother.
Oh, the granddaughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, the granddaughter. Yeah. It was incredible. That whole storyline, everything was on par to me. Like it was incredible how they went out after and how she came into the restaurant and then she started
With
flipping
the
out. The
wine,
new boyfriend
yeah.
is there, and she's like freaking
I love
out,
that
and this
scene.
girl's like, but she still went out there with her grandmother.
Yes.
Yeah.
She still protected her grandma. This is like the level of connection that they had behind the mom. This wasn't fucking incredible. Like,
But I feel like
love
with
that.
the mom, to some degree, it was still there. It was just like.
Well, it's just the whole point that the
Underneath.
mom's purpose was to keep a separation between the grandma and her daughter.
She just didn't want her daughter to grow up the way
she
she
did-
grew
exactly.
up.
Yeah.
with,
So she
But
always
what's great
protected
is,
her.
but what's great is that's what paid off. I
So
love that they
that's
had
the thing.
Judy Greer is the one who
Hold
ended
on a
up
sec.
killing him.
That's the
Yeah.
thing is that the connect.
Well, we don't know if
the
he's dead.
daughter
Right, man.
had.
Spoiler.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is spoiler episode.
I'm not even gonna I wasn't even gonna mention
The
it.
daughter
Obviously, we're talking
protected
about Halloween.
what's her fucking name? I just now forgot her name.
Just Judy Greer is the
Judy
actress'
Greer-
name,
well-
and Jamie
oh,
Lee
you mean the
Curtis.
granddaughter?
Jamie Lee Curtis protected the family
Yes.
from Michael Myers.
Yeah.
The mom protected the daughter from Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, all these in-depth stories that was happening, like I fucking loved it.
Yeah, the family dynamic.
That whole
The family dynamic
the
was
humor
incredible.
in this film was
Yeah.
so well done, I thought, which is unexpected, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. Like the scene where they're babysitting the little kid, and then he's like,
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
this shit, I'm gonna fuck out of here. And the kid just like had this like potty mouth. The
I
whole,
totally
do you
forgot
remember this
about him.
part?
Oh yeah, oh hell yeah.
I was like laughing
was
out
laughing.
loud, like it was the funniest shit I'd ever seen. And it's just, I love that.
It was
I love
sad that the
he could
babysitter
break
got
and
it,
have the
though.
humor.
I was actually sad that the babysitter got
Yeah,
it. I don't
yeah.
know any other earlier Halloween movie where I was particularly sad that anybody died, but I was actually a little bit bummed.
Yeah,
They fleshed out the characters really well. Even
they-
that she was the friend, right?
Normally, I feel like they make some of the characters they get it in horror films like this, like these type of slasher or
Yeah,
type films, like they make them out to be like dicks.
Yeah.
like you're like, fuck that guy. Like
Yeah.
if I met this guy or chick in real life, like they're probably pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Like, and so then they get killed, and you're like, whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
like I don't care. But yeah, you're right. They did make that character likable. Like I don't think they made the boyfriend likable.
Yeah, I don't
No,
remember that
they-
particularly.
he
But
was kind of
right.
a dick.
Yeah, but
And
they
then-
fleshed out the character and then also
Like
just had
the-
them actually fighting back, not just
Yeah.
going big tits in the corner, getting like just slashed without
And
any.
I
real
even like
fighting.
that
Yeah,
scene where he's in the one guy's drunk and then he tries to make out with the chick and she's like, what the fuck? And then she leaves and then he's sitting there all fucked up. And then you just see him, Mike, in the corner, in the dark or whatever. And then the light comes on. And then he keeps getting like closer. Every time the light goes out, he's like closer and closer and closer.
Right.
And I'm just like, those kind of things are like, I just loved it. I
Yeah.
love that type of like setup and those shots and those like coming up with that kind of like, those suspenseful moments in the film. And I feel like it has tons of those. And that they pay off.
Yeah, I think they paid. I think they absolutely paid
I'm telling
off.
you, look, I just like I'm comparing. Like, let's talk about the scene where the lady looking out the window and she gets killed from behind.
Yeah.
With Michael Myers, you see the
Yeah.
shot of him, walking up to the yard, and you see
the blinds.
and then the camera switches over to showing the lady in the house, and you see him on the side window walking to the back of the house, and
Yeah.
then he comes into the house as she goes to the window.
Great.
And then she's like, so I compare that shot to The Strangers.
Which I haven't seen yet. We talked about that
I don't think I've seen it. Yeah,
No, we
Liv-
talked about
Liv-
that.
Liv Tyler.
With Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
in the hotel room.
No,
No,
that's,
no,
The other one. We talked. We had this whole conversation.
Yeah,
before.
The Strangers.
Yeah.
That's,
Which they
shit,
had
I
a
forget
shot.
what that
They
one's
had a
called.
shot like that, and she's on the phone, and then you see when you see that guy come out from the shadows, and there's a back room that's dark, and you see the guy come out from the shadows, and he just looks at her. The way that was done, it was so fucking creepy. It
Yeah.
was so intense with nothing. And
And the
it was
Strangers.
so in the Strangers.
Yeah.
And so
I don't know,
and this
man.
is why I'm feeling like this is what I'm saying. It's like I felt
Maybe you should watch it again.
I will watch. I have
Not in VR.
I will watch it again.
I think
but then-
him showing up at Halloween and like the kids are out, like everyone's trick or treating, like the teenagers are out getting drunk and going to parties, and it's like everyone is out being social. And
Yeah.
you got this fucking psychotic mental patient who likes killing people just walks into this wearing
Yeah.
a mask and like dressed up in a way where he would just blend right in.
Yep.
And to me, that in itself creates tension. It creates tension throughout the entire film. And the fact that the police know that he broke out and they're trying to keep everything quiet and they're zipping around this small police force is trying to like...
one cop.
Well, yeah, it was like, there was a couple.
It was like
I
think at most I saw 3 cops. Three cops.
It was more than that.
I guess
Right?
it's a small town.
It was that guy from, what the fuck? The guy,
this is what
I
I'm
always go
saying.
back. He's from Armageddon. He's got that
Yeah,
great
I know who you're
scene
talking. But this is what I'm
with his
saying is
ex-wife.
that
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
this
yeah.
movie did an incredible and it's very hard
It-
to
like, I-
redo the 80s.
I
It's
would
very
consider
hard.
it like
It's not the 80s though.
This
It's not
whole
set in the
film
80s. It's set
resembles
in-
an 80s film.
It could
But-
be my
but it's in
best. It
present
could be
time.
my favorite
It's-
Halloween.
That
Like
and the
without
first-
next to the first one, but I don't know. I kind of like it more than the
Well, because
original.
it's
This
advanced.
film
that's how
resembles
good
an
it
80s
is.
It's
film.
advanced. It's more sophisticated now. Like so, there's that.
yeah,
Yeah,
so I don't.
the
It
technology
has an edge.
Is
but
better, but the
Yeah.
film, just how
Out of
things
all
were
the
done, it
sequels-
resembles an 80s films. Like the plot, everything that happened resembles an 80s film.
It's
How it was
almost
shot,
a
and of
perfect
course,
film.
and it was
Almost.
It's really
it's
good.
a
9 out of
perfect
10.
80s film.
9.5.
It really is. It really is, and it did really well. But I just felt like I was saying, these long shots, these long moments with very.
You should have saw it in
very
the theater
small-
with
But
us.
you also don't like Inception, so you're not really a good authority on the.
No, it's not
efficacy
about
of
authority
filmmaking.
because if I show respect that I understand why it's good, that doesn't say much.
Exactly,
But it
doesn't
just
say
so
much.
it didn't scare you, is what you're saying. Like you didn't
No,
get scared.
okay, back up. Can I just say something real quick? We have to talk about how you watched this film, though. You did watch it in VR.
It doesn't
where you have to
matter.
take
No,
a break
no,
every
no.
15 minutes.
No, it's no. I didn't take a break. I actually
You
watched half.
normally-
I literally went through half, and then I went through. The
Oh,
other
so then your mind's mush.
No,
So the point
no,
is,
no. Don't give me. It's not. Don't try to give an excuse why I felt this way. I felt.
I'm trying to
because-
help you out by giving you an
No,
excuse.
no.
So-
I'm giving my honest opinion on this film. Like I understand why it was great. I understand why Inception was great.
Don't bite the hand
I
that
just
gives you a
didn't-
reach around.
Didn't connect with.
I
it.
mean, I understand. I understand what you're saying. Like there are movies that I've seen where people are like, "Oh my god, that was incredible," and I could see like technically and like the acting and like the style and the shots why
Yeah.
people would like it, but it didn't. It didn't
Some
work for
people
me.
really like
Like, I've had
payoffs.
that
I'm one of
happen.
those people. I really like payoff. If you're gonna hold me on a shot for so long, I want to see a payoff. That's just how I am. I want to see a payoff. And
I felt like
I don't
got
want
that
you to-
in this movie.
what's that?
I felt like I got that.
Good. That's what I'm saying. This
Yeah.
is just definitely different perspectives. And
And the music,
there's-
the remade music or whatever,
Oh, it was
like
great.
Oh, yeah, it
even
was
though it's
so-
like very similar, like it was
very yeah.
it was like awesome.
It's a classic remix. Yeah,
Yeah.
It was perfect. Like I said, I feel like this is a perfect 80s horror film. It's
Yeah.
done incredible.
I hope they make
Yeah.
I hope they make a sequel to this.
Yeah, and because it's kind of like it's one of those things where they left it a little open ended whether or not he actually.
Yeah.
died. I mean,
so now is
he-
it going into supernatural? I mean, the whole house is on fire. If he
Yeah, but they showed the
show the what?
basement on fire.
Yeah.
And then they showed him like kind of standing in such a way that he wasn't in the fire.
Right.
Yeah.
But and then,
So
and
are
then
we
all of
going
a
into
sudden-
a
and then it stopped
supernatural thing
showing him.
again?
And then it
They
stopped
haven't
showing
announced
him.
they're making a sequel.
Are
Have
we
they?
so?
I feel
are
like
we
they
going
did
to a
mention something
supernatural
about
thing?
it. But also then but what if they
No.
did? What if they twisted on you
Really?
again and it's not
Dude,
him?
there's a
Really?
sewer drain. He climbed down.
Oh, okay,
the
got
Teenage
you.
Mutant Ninja
He
Turtles
Ant-Man
helped him
out
out.
of there. He Ant-Man out of there, right?
Yeah, he Ant-Man. This is Marvel Universe.
This is Marvel Universe. Yeah.
That would be amazing if Michael Myers is in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
I would actually like the Marvel Universe then.
As of less than a month ago, Jason Blum admits Blumhouse doesn't have sequel rights yet to Halloween 2. So they don't even have
Oh.
rights to a sequel yet. So that's
Wow.
interesting. Yeah, it says his popular horror house doesn't
Who's
actually have the
holding
rights to
the
pursue.
rights?
Let's
John
see.
Carpenter?
Here's what he said. He said, "We had talked about it, but right now we're not shooting any Halloween movies right now because we don't have deal rights to the sequels. But I certainly hope to make 10 more, but I'll start with one more." That's what
There
he
you
said.
go. And I hope he does. Like,
Yeah.
I really want. I love Michael Myers, and I really want to. I watch the second one.
Yeah.
I watch it with the same enthusiasm that I watched the first one. There was just things that I didn't connect to it, and I felt like it lacked for me.
Yeah.
But did I think it was a great film? Yeah, I respect it, and I think it was an incredible film, and I think it deserves. It fucking deserves an award for how they treated 80 elements today. It fucking deserves an award for that because it was like, you got these like expected story plots. Like, yeah, he's gonna break out of the bus. That basically is gonna happen. Bus probably gonna crash.
Yeah.
Yada yada. And you expect it, but you still were waiting in the moments. You still.
I
were
gotta
waiting
tell
in
you,
the
I am
moments.
not
Yeah.
getting sick of this 80s trend at all. Now, this
Oh,
movie's not set in the
100%
80s,
not.
but like you said, it borrows from like the filmmaking of it. But I am not getting sick of this at all. Like some people,
I don't think you ever will, Nick.
No, because I just think it's being handled well with a lot of different shows and movies.
I think you're like that girl
Stranger
in Poltergeist sitting in front of that TV
I am,
watching the.
they're here. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm like. But no, like
It's
I look
funny.
at
I
Stranger
think in the
Things.
90s, nobody wanted to go back to the 80s, and
I
in
did.
like the 2000s,
I got
nobody wanted to
obsessed
go
with
back.
the 80s
and now,
in the 90s. I was obsessed with the 80s. I was
Oh.
listening to nothing but 80s music for a little
yeah,
while.
but me and
80s
Thiago
movies.
grew up in the 80s, so we
Yeah, I was
we
4 when the 80s
experienced-
ended.
Okay.
You know, so I was sort of
Yeah.
like missing, like, oh man, I wish I had a few more
missed
years
all the
in
cocaine
80s.
and-
yeah. Well, no, I did all the cocaine, but it was
He's done enough.
That was the problem. I don't remember anything. No, but
Where did all
By
this
the way, that's a
cocaine
joke.
come from?
Bolivia.
Miami, that's where it came from. They're
why did
flying
it
it
come
all
from
in.
Bolivia?
Colombia. I was messing with you.
Are you trying to
Colombia-
go into a joke? That's why you married a Bolivian.
Yeah, that's what was kind of Bolivia.
See, are we going to talk about any other horror movies? Because I
Okay,
would like to
yeah.
talk about Annihilation.
No, we're not talking about other horror movies. We're just talking about Halloween, goddammit.
All right,
No,
let's-
Yeah,
okay.
no.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, so yeah, we don't know if there's going to be a sequel. Fuck, we went really off. I don't even know what we're talking about now. There's not going to be a sequel.
We're talking about
yet,
the studio
but
doesn't have
they're
rights.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're hoping to make a sequel
Yeah.
of it. You were saying something else after that. I don't remember. I wasn't.
No,
listening.
I was saying. At this podcast, nobody
motherfucker.
fucking listens to
Yeah.
each other. We just record in totally different rooms.
Yeah, and
No,
we just
We
edited it
should,
together
we should
afterwards.
say that Nick Castle was the same guy who played the Shape in the original film is in this movie.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
by the way,
The same
this is the
actor.
guy who wrote.
Finally
Hook,
showed his
the movie
face.
Hook.
Yeah, he
They
wrote
showed his
Hook.
face.
And he
They
wrote,
showed his
Escape
face.
from
They
New
kind
York.
of like on the
They kind of
side.
showed his face.
They showed
like
in the
this-
original too.
Did they?
Yeah,
they?
in the closet when she stabs him in
Oh,
the eye.
yeah, the mask.
She pulls the mask off.
Yeah, and
And,
he
But didn't
freaks
he
see
have-
his face.
I like how he freaks out when the mask comes
Yeah,
off
and then he
he
puts
But
it
didn't
right
he
back
have, did he
on.
have
was
the
disturbing.
crazy thing on?
No, he had nothing on. You see his bare face in the original movie for
Okay,
like
all right.
like 2 seconds, if that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he pulls the mask right back on.
Okay.
I love that scene because there was something about it. It was like, holy shit, this is his face, and then it was gone again.
Yeah, I remember it was like downstairs by the. Yeah.
No, it was upstairs in the closet. When she's in the closet and he's trying to open and trying to find her, and then she stabs him and she pulls the mask off at some point.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It was fucking hilarious. That's the kid.
that's the kid, yeah,
That's
from
the
Halloween.
kid that he
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
babysitting or whatever.
I was saying I hope they do because I will watch it. I will 100% watch it. There's films that I like. There's elements in it that I don't like it, but I love watching it.
Yeah.
You know, but because I respect the art and I respect what they're doing, I respect the
I
story.
remember when
I
the
wanna see
trailer the trailer came out. You showed us the trailer, and
Yeah.
you were like hyped.
I was hyped.
You were like
I was 100%
hype
hyped.
train, man.
I
you
love
were like,
Michael Myers.
dude, that's crazy. What the squares, and they had him in there, and that scene that you said
Yeah.
you didn't like, that was the scene that hyped you.
That
for
was
the
like your
trailer.
favorite scene in the trailer.
I remember.
The-
With
the-
everybody
the
starts
shit.
The mask.
freaking
The
out,
mask.
and it's like, you
Yeah.
know,
How about
he's
the
like,
teeth?
how about this?
How about the teeth in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Come on, he reaches over and he just drops teeth, and they like pat, and she goes under the stalls, and he grabs like fucking that whole scene's really well fucking
Yeah.
Shot, orchestrated, like the tension of she's sitting on the toilet, the door
Remember?
opens, you
No,
see
I
the
remember.
boots.
I'm trying to break it down. Here's the thing, I'm trying to break down the scenes that I like, the scenes that I didn't like, the scenes that I had issues with, the scenes that I teeter-totter back and forth with, and the teeth scene. Yeah, that was crazy. That was
Yeah.
super. Like you hear him on the floor.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It was just. She was just like, yeah.
Yeah, anyways.
I'm trying to figure out what to say.
You know what it is?
Yeah, the movie
It's
here's
his
the
like
thing.
calm demeanor, how he just walks. Like
Yeah.
his like whole thing where he's just like he doesn't run after
Yeah,
you.
that's the whole.
So-
He's not frantic. He's not like God, what's his name? From like Psycho or whatever. He's not
or
like
even
this
Scream,
wild.
even Scream.
Yeah, even in Scream,
Scream's
they're
wild.
like, they're this like wild flailing motions
Yeah.
and shit, like
Yeah.
this franticness. Like he doesn't have any of that. He's just like chill. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
And he
I
just
love
goes for
this.
it.
Awesome.
I love
Yeah.
the scene.
It's like The Following.
I love the scene when
basically.
where her best friend, was it her best friend, where he was in the yard and he was thinking he was talking to the house owner when he got killed.
Which one?
The kid that
What?
tried
Oh
to
no,
kiss her, yeah.
at nighttime.
At
It wasn't
nighttime,
her
yeah.
best friend. Yeah, she meets that guy at the party or whatever.
No,
and they're
her
walking through the
boyfriend's best
yard.
friend.
Yeah,
Her boyfriend's
yeah,
best
they're walking
friend.
through the courtyard at
Yeah.
nighttime when he's he turns on the lights and he thinks that
Yeah.
he's drunk and he tries to basically make a move on her. She runs away.
Yeah, they're
and then
in
he's
a
sitting
field.
there.
It was in a field.
It's
No,
in
no,
a big
it's not-
courtyard.
it's
No,
not.
because there's
It's
a
in the
fence
yard.
they have to jump over. Remember, it is actually part of it, and he thinks he's talking to the
part of the
owner of the
neighborhood.
property,
Yeah.
and who's in the
Oh,
shadows.
yeah, yeah.
and he
I
goes-
mentioned that
He's like,
earlier.
"Sorry,
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Johnson." Da da da. And we're like, "It's fucking Michael Myers," and he's like, "It's Mr. Johnson." Like, and
Yeah.
then he's about to fucking get killed.
I
He's like,
love-
Oh, hey, buddy. And
Doesn't
then
he
sees
impale him on the fucking?
Yeah,
thing
Yeah,
on the-
he
Yeah.
runs, and then he's like drunk and running and goofy. But I liked that they kept in that like whole, you get killed if you're like immoral thing or whatever.
Yeah,
like they kept
that's
in
the
that
rule.
which
Yeah.
is ironic because I
Randy
watched the
told
whole.
us that was the rules.
I watched the whole thing on Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
And the director was like, that was never the intention. Like we weren't trying to make a comment on morality or doing drugs
Yeah.
or anything. It was just like we were trying to appeal to kids that do drugs and bang, have premarital sex. Like we were just trying to sell a movie, but then everyone took it as this like moral tale. Like if you bang and before marriage and
Yeah.
you do drugs, you gonna get killed by some serial
And they're like,
killer.
yeah, that's what I meant. Sure.
And they were like,
Yes,
that
kids.
was nobody thought that.
Yeah,
Like,
but yet
no one
today-
even that never crossed anyone's mind.
By the way, I was watching. What the fuck was the film? I was watching a film on IFC. And I didn't know that now we show boobs on TV. So
Certain ones like IFC, AMC has
okay, well,
questionable
rules
about
have
that.
really changed.
oh my
Yeah,
god, dude,
that-
I
that's
started
cable.
watching
That's
American
cable.
Gods,
Cable.
and that show is like
IFC? I got it on Sling as a normal channel. It's not a.
But it's cable. That is cable. It's not
It
like
is
it's not
cable.
network
But
television.
still,
Have
that's
you
a-
seen
know, yeah.
American Gods?
We're really about to
Yeah,
go
we're not
off
going to go
topic.
off. We're not going to go off.
Well,
We're gonna
I
go
would
back
just
to
say
the-
like that show is like straight up X.
Yeah,
like
okay.
that. I've
Yeah.
said this to Nick last night.
1970s
but
rated
that,
X.
Yeah, that show is like the violence and the nudity and the
Yeah.
sex, and like I was just like, wow, this is like 10 times worse than
This is the good thing about
Game of Thrones.
about
And
Halloween.
Game of Thrones is like
This is the
you
thing
know,
about
hard
Halloween.
R.
It didn't need any of that stuff.
No.
And it didn't have it, did it?
didn't
I don't
have
remember
it.
any nudity
I don't
in it.
remember any.
It's an
any-
R
There was in the
mainly for
original.
violence.
Yeah.
It's R for violence.
It's only because
yeah.
that guy's head turns into SpaghettiOs in that one scene.
It's like Toxic
The
Avenger.
SpaghettiO I'm like, come on.
It's like Toxic Avenger.
like,
Exactly.
how can you imagine? Like, if you did that in real life, your foot would not be able to.
Maybe he's
somebody's
Michael
skull.
Myers with the big ass.
Are
you
skulls
gotta-
that
yeah,
soft?
If you crack
no
them and the
way.
brain
Yeah.
goes,
I mean, people break
if
their
you
bones
crack
all the
through
time.
if you crack through the skull and get to the brains, and between the brains and the flappy skin and everything
Yeah,
like
the
that,
protective skin.
that can get crazy. I'm not sure to look exactly like that, but it could be.
It was like
It
on
could
the
turn into a
mud.
mess.
Like it wasn't
If
like
a car
concrete-
ran over your head, it could.
No,
get
it was
like
on the
that.
dirt road.
I don't know. People get hit in the head all the time, and heads don't crack open.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
but people fall down and
okay,
break their
it's
ribs all the time. So
I do
it's-
want to mention real quick right before we end off on this. Nick Castle definitely did The Shape, but it wasn't just him. He did it with a guy named James Jude Courtney,
Yeah.
and they both did the roles
the original
together.
or in the
new one?
remake?
In the new
Okay.
one, the remake. So he helped the guy, and the guy really studied his movements from the original one to do it like him. So that it was a mix between the two. Because Nick Castle, he's an older guy, he wasn't going to hold. The guy's like 70 something,
Yeah.
or late 60s. He wasn't going to hold the whole thing himself, and so he did it in coordination with this guy.
Cool.
Yeah.
So my end statement to this is going to be that I think if you like horror films, you need to watch this film.
Yeah.
It is a great film. I just disconnected it in certain things. I will definitely watch it again to try to see if I
Just
get
try to not do it on VR. I'm just gonna say that just because there is that extra element of discomfort to a degree that I'm just like, just try and watch it.
But I wasn't
Okay.
not comfortable.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Fine,
because
fine.
it was like, and I watched it when it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. 4 o'clock in the morning. Had my coffee. I sat down, got my blanket. I fucking laid on the not laid on the
Got
couch.
some
but,
lotion and
like
tissues.
laid and sat down.
I feel like this is really
Wow,
gonna
I should
escalate
not-
quick.
yeah, no. Like,
No, I know
sat
what you
on the
mean.
couch,
Like you
my
wanted
foot
you had
up.
the headphones and the full
I had the
experience.
headphones.
And,
I had the full experience. I was immersed, and I've watched films. I watched a couple films like that before that I felt like, oh, I need to see it like in cinema style.
Right.
like
And
your wife probably wouldn't want to watch it.
my wife watched the film.
Oh, she did watch it.
I
Before
got
you?
her to watch the film with me.
Did she like it?
Yeah. So, oh no, I fucking watched it twice already. Yeah. So,
Oh.
so she.
I'm curious how if she liked it.
No, she does not like film like that. I got.
Oh, I
like,
couldn't
she
get
killed
my
it.
wife to watch it.
She
know.
she was ready to kill.
Yeah.
She says she likes
Yeah.
horror films when
She should
they
watch
are.
I got her to see it.
She can watch horror films
She
when
doesn't
they're
trust me anymore.
supernatural, but she cannot watch a horror film that is immersed in reality.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, well, I'm very.
I mean, it makes sense.
If it's
yeah.
fantastical.
Yeah, but if it's
it's-
reality based,
if
it
it's-
feels
She
too
would
real.
she would like it.
no, because that's kind of.
It's
almost
fantastical, but there's
but it's very.
it's
There's
kids,
reality
it's,
elements
yeah.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I must be like dead inside because those movies like don't even like even this reason I like this movie so much is because it created such an effect on me. But like I think it was like one scene that like made me jump. Or
Yeah.
like maybe like kind of moved my body a little bit like a shock.
Yeah.
But the rest of it I was like,
The painting
like,
scene, it probably. I
Yeah.
think it was the painting.
No, actually, the thing that was shocking to me, and it didn't make me jump, but I was like shocked, was the Georgie scene in the beginning. I had no idea that he bit his arm off.
You don't remember that from the because you didn't remember the original.
I never read the
Yeah.
book, and even in the original, like
They
I
do.
feel
It's
like they
very
don't.
clear.
But it's like
It's
a
not-
TV movie.
Did you
so
guys
they
watch
don't
A
show
Quiet
anything, and
Place?
this is like teeth literally
show the
sink into his
severed
arm
hand.
and ripped his arm
Yeah.
off.
Did you guys watch A Quiet Place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you guys feel about
I thought it was.
I
I
liked
thought it
it.
was good, but overrated.
I think it's better than Bird Box if we're gonna go there, though. I thought Quiet Place was good. I liked what they did with a little.
It is better
They
than Bird
did
Box.
a lot with a little. I liked the tension of the quietness and like if you make a goddamn peep.
There's a
and
sequel with
the beginning.
Emily Blunt coming.
Yeah. I actually thought it was really good. And that labor scene when she goes into labor, like that was fucking like
That was
Jesus.
intense.
Yeah. And I relate. I've said this before. I think because I'm a father now, like I relate to those kind of stories more than I used to. You know what I mean? Like he's a father trying
We
to
need
protect
more
his kids.
pregnancy in our horror movies. That's what we need.
That scene is fucking insane. Like that whole thing. And
Like
then you have the-
AVP.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this,
No,
and you guys probably
no.
gonna cuss at me, but I felt more evil in the scene in Roma when the baby was born and
Oh, I haven't
doctors
seen
in the
Roma.
background.
That scene,
That
I
was-
watched Roma. That fucked me up. I was like,
that was-
no.
yeah.
I got to tell you something,
Yeah.
real quick. If anybody hasn't seen Roma, you know this is
I
a
haven't
quick
seen it.
spoiler.
Sorry.
Okay,
Is this spoiler?
I'm going to say it
I
in a
just
way.
spoiled
If
it
you haven't
already.
seen it, I'm going to code something. That scene at the beach after that, I was like, if this goes wrong, remember at the beach with the
Yeah,
two
yeah,
kids?
yeah, yeah.
I was like, if this goes wrong, I'm gonna be like, fuck this movie. It's like right at the end, I was gonna be like, you know what? No, fuck you, movie. You didn't have to go that far. You didn't have to
Yeah.
keep doing it to me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's how I felt. And when they didn't, I was like, okay, I'm good.
Got you.
Yeah,
Okay,
I like that movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
But see, that was the thing. That the film held great tension.
It was
really,
good.
really-
It's really well shot. That
yeah.
film. That
It
film was
so
cinematically.
cinematic.
They won Best Cinematography at the Academy Awards, which we talked about before. I don't necessarily agree with the streaming, but I do agree that movie deserved the cinematography like recognition for
Yeah.
it. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right.
Cool. Cool.
There you go. See Halloween if you haven't seen it.
See Halloween.
Yes.
So you guys can prove me wrong.
Yep.
Yada yada.
No, but I mean, you basically said it's a great film. It just didn't for you personally.
You
didn't-
had issues
yeah,
with it.
You had issues.
I had
with
issues.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's okay.
Cool.
As long as you weren't like it's garbage.
No, 100%. It's not even like in that category. It's people should watch it. It's a great, and I will watch it probably a third time.
Yeah.
Because I liked the film. I just had issues with it.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, thank you for joining us here at Get to the Podcast. Let's get to the podcast with the number 2. My name is Thiago D'Souza.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
That's terrible humor. You sound like Nanu Nanu, like Mork from Ork.
Nanu, nanu.
Nanu Nanu.
Nanu, nanu.
Shellbutt.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.